AYANEO Pocket Mini 2 arrived. The packaging here shows the NGC limited edition color, but I didn't get that one. I went for the white 8+256 version. The processor is a Snapdragon 865. I'll display the detailed specifications on the left during the unboxing for you to examine. Breaking the seal of the AYANEO Pocket Mini 2. Underneath we have the handheld console body. Then there's the data cable. A very small user manual, a C2C charging cable, and then the handheld console. Upon seeing its appearance, it clearly carries on the legacy of the APM series. The two joysticks are symmetrically positioned at the bottom, and notably, the joysticks are clickable when pressed down. And this time, the joysticks are recessed, featuring an RGB lighting effect around their edges, while the D-pad and ABXY buttons are all made with conductive rubber contacts. The ABXY buttons appear to be notably larger in size. The shoulder buttons are arrayed in a single straight line following a tiered design that permits distinct activation, with some buttons positioned higher and others lower, giving them a unique feel. Above we see a fan vent, charging indicator light, volume controls, and a 2-in-1 power and fingerprint button. On the right side you'll find two RC expansion keys. Left, LC expansion keys. It supports up to 2 TB TF card expansion. Now, let's take a look at the back. This back part here has a fine matte finish. You can hear it. It's made of plastic. The frame, however, is all metal CNC, while the buttons are still made of plastic. The handheld has a 3950 mAh battery, supports PD fast charging, and states a maximum of 5 volts 2 amperes. We'll test the actual charging wattage later. Let's check out the bottom, symmetrical stereo speakers. You can see the USB-C port is a bit off-center, shifted to the left, but having a 3.5mm jack is a huge plus. Very advanced. This is the microphone. The last generation was criticized for not having a 3.5mm jack. These here are your front buttons: home, select, and start. Let's give them a press, shall we? You can feel they're all micro switch buttons, providing a satisfying click. However, the buttons on the right side feel a little bit stiff when you press them, whereas the ones on the left have a very crisp and satisfying click. Maybe it's just my unit. The screen has a film, so let's peel it off. This film is a bit hard to peel off. There's no little tab. Let's turn it on. While it's booting up, let's compare its size and weight with some other handhelds. The handheld closest to it in size is the PVP. As you can see, the length is almost identical to the PVP, and the thickness is also very similar. The 3.5-inch screen is 900 by 640, 3:2. It's for GBA 4x display. Alright, so let's set it right beside the GBA and get a good look at its size. It's been upgraded with a larger IPS screen. I believe it's a 3.5-inch one. The entire frame, all around, is made of metal. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at how much it weighs. Oh right, speaking of the frame, you can see it has a transition here with 2 stepped levels. The edges are much rounder. The previous generation really felt quite sharp and uncomfortable to hold, but this one is much smoother, with a back design that's identical to the front. The AYANEO Pocket Mini 2 weighs exactly 250 grams, while the PVP comes in at 211 grams. My modded GBA with a new battery and screen is 204 grams. Let's check the AYANEO Air Mini 2, 276 grams. So overall, this pure metal AYANEO Pocket Mini 2 is actually more than 20 grams lighter than the plastic Air Mini. Okay, next up, let's check out its performance. First, let's take a look at its ANTU benchmark score. It scores over 800K. However, we can see this is a new processor and the GPU score is 0. If ANTU updates later, the score won't just be 849,000. And since its screen is 900 by 640, when you play GBA games, you get a 4 times pixel perfect display. You can take a look here. Zoom in. And this time, the C port is a full-featured C port for video output. So if we plug in an external display, it basically becomes a 3DS or a 2DS. But of course, in addition to that specific and unique way of playing, you can also simply connect your game directly to a large screen or even a television and enjoy playing it there. So right now, I'm running Resident Evil 7 locally on this device. You can see the frame rate at the top. It's around 26 frames, not quite 30. The 865 is already quite good. This is, after all, a simulated PC, making its performance quite impressive for what it is. The fan noise in full power mode is pretty loud. Let's test it. This is the indoor noise level. Balance mode, operating at a low speed. Yellow duck, same settings, balanced mode, low speed. Most won't stream on such a small screen, but let's test it anyway. Let's switch to streaming mode. The average network latency is around 10, and the average encoding-decoding time is about 3. This is at 1080p 60 frames. Alright, next let's play Chaos Legion and tap the edges to see if there are any actual issues with Ghost Touch through the screen in real-world testing. Down right, up left, down left, everything registers instantly. No lag. In a fighting game, let's see how it performs in actual combat.
Get ready, fighters! Go for it, man!
Yeah, the moves are incredibly responsive. I can even pull off this move. The previous MediaTek G99 needed God of War 2 locked at 30 frames per second for smooth play. So this time, let's try it at 2x resolution and see what happens. 2x resolution, no downclocking, native resolution, no downclocking. Now let's play God of War 2 again, checking its frame rate. If this bird doesn't turn red, it'll stay at 60 frames. Special move. When using a special move, the frame rate drops to around 50, but it's maxed out the rest of the time. And here, you can feel the vibration. The vibration on this handheld is a linear vibration, HD vibration. Then, Valkyrie Profile 2. Here, it's also at 2x resolution, but as you can see, it can't run at a full frame rate. We have to lower the resolution multiplier. The internal sound seems fine. So after running the game for a bit, let's take a look at the device's body heat situation. Let's take a look at the heat. The primary hot areas are right within the grooves of the left and right joysticks, and we're observing about 50 degrees, which is quite significant. The heating in other areas is pretty good. And this strip on the right side should be its screen ribbon cable. Check the metal frame. The metal frame is in good shape too, only 33 degrees, which isn't overly hot. Everything around this area is quite acceptable. Now let's look at the back. This area on the back, likely the battery region, is around 35 degrees, and here it's 36 degrees. The area in the middle of the fan is in the high 20s, low 30s. So why are the areas around the two joysticks so hot? Let's open it up in a bit and see what's going on inside. Right, about heat dissipation. This device actually has a completely flat back, so if you were to just lay it flat on a table, its cooling vents could end up getting totally blocked. So when you're playing, make sure to prop something underneath it, or avoid playing with it completely flat against the table surface. Next up, we're going to take a listen and evaluate the quality of its audio output. What do you guys think of the sound quality? Finally, let's take it apart and have a look. Alright, before we dive into the teardown, I'm just going to power it down completely, so hold on a second. This is the console's interior. You can see it's very compact. On the left and right are the joysticks, and this is a fanless fan. Up top, there's also this rubber pad designed to create an even tighter and more secure seal with the rear casing in this specific area to ensure a snug fit. On the back is a soft honeycomb-like material, HD vibrator, and two antennas. Let's summarize. Firstly, the recessed joysticks are a huge improvement compared to the first generation, and the curve along the edges is also significantly better, making for a much more comfortable grip and overall feel in your hands. The return of the 3.5mm headphone jack is also a nice touch. Now let's discuss some of the drawbacks I've encountered up to this point. The very first thing, as you might already be hearing, is the distinct sound of the fan noise. Currently we're in a balance mode, and the fan noise is still considerably louder than what we observed with the AYANEO Air Mini. This could be attributed to a more aggressive tuning setting at the moment, but it's highly probable that a future software update will effectively address and resolve this issue. The Snapdragon 865 level processor is definitely a lot stronger than the MediaTek G99. Finally, which one do you personally prefer? This pristine white model, the sleek black version, or perhaps even that truly distinctive NGC Special Edition color? That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Hope you all have a great day. This is Player Club.